In his final moments, as he hung on the Roman cross, Jesus of Nazareth uttered 7 profound statements that have resonated through the centuries. This is the story behind his first words from the cross, a prayer that echoes the heart of his message: forgiveness. The scene is one of unspeakable cruelty. Jesus, a Jewish leader and healer, has been arrested, beaten, and condemned to death by crucifixion, a brutal form of execution reserved for the worst of crimes against the Roman Empire. As the nails are driven into his flesh and the cross is raised, Jesus looks out over the jeering crowd. Roman soldiers gamble for his clothing while curious onlookers and religious leaders mock him. Yet in this moment of unimaginable pain and humiliation, Jesus utters these words: "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do." To understand the profound nature of this statement, we must explore the historical, cultural, and socio-political context of Jesus' world. Crucifixion was a Roman form of execution designed to be slow, painful, and humiliating. It was reserved for those considered enemies of the state, revolutionaries, and the lowest class of criminals. For a Jewish teacher like Jesus, to be crucified was seen as a disgrace. In the ancient world, honor and shame was pivotal values. To be shamed publicly, as Jesus was, would have been a devastating blow. Yet Jesus' words echoed a radically different message, one of forgiveness, even for those who persecuted him. In the honor-shame culture of the ancient Mediterranean world, forgiveness was not a virtue celebrated or widely practiced. Honor was defended at all costs, and shame was avenged through retaliation or violence. Jesus, however, drew from the teachings of the Hebrew scriptures, which emphasized compassion, mercy, and forgiveness, even toward one's enemies. By praying for the forgiveness of those who crucified him, Jesus embodied a countercultural ethic that challenged the norms of his day. Jesus lived and taught during a time of tremendous tension and upheaval in Judea. The Jewish people were subject to Roman occupation, and there were frequent uprisings and revolts against the oppressive Roman regime. In this volatile climate where Roman cruelty was matched by Jewish resistance, Jesus' call for forgiveness would have been seen as a radical departure from the prevailing attitudes of the day. Jesus' words from the cross challenge us to let go of bitterness, hatred, and the desire for vengeance. In a world so deeply divided along ethnic, politic, and religious lines, his example calls us to be agents of reconciliation and forgiveness. Whether it is in our personal relationships or communities or on the global stage, the power of forgiveness can break cycles of violence, heal wounds, and open the door to understanding and peace. As we reflect on Jesus' first words from the cross, may we find the courage to forgive those who would have wronged us, and to extend compassion even to those we might consider enemies. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. A prayer that echoes through the ages, inviting us to embrace the transformative power of forgiveness.